Donald Trump's closing statement may be the most pertinent to our situation here, where he said something to the effect of, may every day offer another wonderful secret. And I think he's going to get his wish on that, because I think every day another wonderful secret about the relationship between Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein is going to be leaking out, because so many people knew about it. And there are photographs and there are tapes and there are letters and documents like this. But it's obvious what we need. We need total disclosure of the complete file, redacting only the names and the identities of the minor victims, of the sex abuse victims of Jeffrey Epstein and of the sex ring. And I think that Donald Trump and the Republicans can read the writing on the wall. There is overwhelming bipartisan popular demand, congressional demand to release all of this stuff. And they keep slicing the bologna very fine every time they come back with another offer.
You know, if you're old enough to remember Watergate and Follow the Money, it's just there's so much evidence. But the $1 billion of wire transfers from Trump to Epstein, again, you know, am I the only one that go? He's not just a client; he's obviously a partner. He's all over the. You know, if you have to be redacted, God knows how many times.
Exactly. I mean, my God, the redactions. I can't. This thing's going to have more blackouts than my three-way with Liza Minnelli and Courtney Love.
Okay.
My God, Jamie Raskin nailed it in that clip. They're going to try to black out Donald Trump's name and then release enough other names that the rubes will feel like something has been done. And that's why Ghislaine Maxwell, who is America's arguably most famous living rapist, just got moved to a club-fed prison where she gets cucumbers in her water and movie nights and Pilates too. It's a great time to be a child rapist with a little black book.
See, I thought
and
you were,
a president
thought
who's
you
in
were,
your pocket.
I thought you were doing a lesbian sex joke with the cucumber, but you meant the spa water. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, look where she is right now. She gets yoga, she gets Pilates, she gets all this. And a 20-year sentence, I'm pretty sure, is going to get a lot lighter really soon, because our president really wants to protect a rapist.
Yeah,
named himself.
And also, again, I'm sure all of this will come out in terms of hard evidence, the money transfers, but a retired pilot,
Ron Wyden's on it.
Yeah. A lot of people are retweeting a retired pilot. He's a Canadian Airlines first officer. Tom Crosby said, because you forget that Trump had his own plane. He's obviously on the flight logs for the Epstein plane, but Donald Trump's plane, he said, flew to Epstein's Island at least 37 times, tracked on radar. All flights are safe for 10 years or more. I was saying...
Sex abuse is already acceptable to MAGA folks, okay? Lack of consent is already acceptable to MAGA voters. So, now they get to go through their own process of deciding how are they going to make sex trafficking of children okay. The way they made beating cops on the Capitol steps for a lie okay.
Yeah.
We get to watch this. They're just going to melt down morally and try to make sense of it. And Epstein's never going away. He's like Trump's herpes with Trump's trichomonas. He's never leaving, because Trump's never going to release the full names. He can't do it. And once Trump does start releasing names, what's going to stop those men who haven't been accused of any crimes of suing we, the people, for slander? I mean, we taxpayers are going to be paying class action lawsuits for Donald Trump's crimes well beyond his funeral, for the immigrants alone.
Yeah, that's a good point. That they're always been the party of we're the only ones that support the police and protect the children. And you're right, it's just being blown up like one myth at a time.
Yeah, they don't care about any of that stuff. They don't care about abortion. They don't care about immigration. They care about power, and they're scared. And that's why this nonsense is happening in Texas right now. The real story is that they're so corrupt. The tariffs are so bad. They know how much our economy is going to suffer that they're trying to cheat 18 months in advance in bloody Texas.
Yeah.
That's how scared they are.
Yeah, if Trump, the line is Trump's so wildly popular, right, and they won such a huge mandate, why do they need to cheat? I mean, it's...
Abbott is literally trying to arrest legislators for not helping him steal democracy. This is like a banana republic by the cast of Hee Haw.
You wrote an amazing piece, as you do. If you're not following John Fugelsang on Fugelsang, Substack.
Fugelsang?
He's got a Fugelsang, which I've seen backstage.
Yeah.
Substack.
Yeah.
Fugelsang on Substack. You try saying Fugelsang on Substack 3 times. Okay. You wrote a great piece, The Voting Rights at 60. We celebrated 60 years of voting rights by making sure your polling place is in a Cracker Barrel parking lot at 2 a.m. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, no, talk a little bit about just, that we just reached that milestone, right?
I mean, this was America's greatest, hey, look, we did a thing moment, right? I mean, we had the Voting Rights Act, the Civil Rights Act, and we walked on the moon. There's the 60s, right? And this was supposed to end voter suppression. It was supposed to secure representation. It was supposed to give voice to the voiceless. And instead, where are we right now? We're back to, you have your papers, please?
Right.
60 years ago this week, our country decided it might be a good idea to stop using Jim Crow's cheat codes at the ballot box, and maybe black folks shouldn't need a PhD test and a receipt from 1862 to vote for their local dog watcher.
Yeah.
And they will never stop trying to find ways to take away that right, little bit by little bit, little bit by little bit. So yeah, the voter ID laws, none of this is about fraud. It's about fear. It's fear of who's voting, not how they're voting.
Yeah.
So Latino voters in Texas and black voters in Atlanta and indigenous voters in Arizona and college kids all over, they're going to do everything they can do to make it harder for our votes to get counted because they know how unpopular they are.
Yep. You reminded me of something. You said, friends, gather around, bring your 2 forms of ID and a utility bill because it's time to celebrate the 60th anniversary of the voting right. Can I say, first of all, I don't get, my billing address is not the same as my home address. I don't ever get a utility bill with this address. So, when a lot of people, I have no idea where my birth certificate is. I mean, you're right.
But you're white, so they're not going to ask you anyway. It's not going to be a problem for you. And again, America has no problem with voter impersonation.
Right.
Like voter ID laws exist for one reason, to stop the voter impersonation. We have never had an election swayed by voter impersonation. Undocumented immigrants can't legally register to vote. So it's all a scam.
Yeah.
It's all a complete scam just to make it harder for some of us to vote.
It's the same thing they're trying to sell with they're taking all your benefits. They can't get Medicaid. They not eligible.
They're not eligible. Donald Trump is still saying that 3 million illegal immigrants voted for Hillary Clinton in 2016. They can't register.
Right.
This is all designed to take rights away from some Americans and to make conservative white people feel okay about that.
Hey, are you traveling this summer? Will you leave instructions for your house sitter, the name and number of your vet, maybe, the code to your alarm system? Think about the steps you take to prepare for vacation, and you'll get a sense of what goes into a knockbox. Just go to theknockbox.com, use the code Stephanie. Knockbox is a complete system that helps you organize all of your accounts, possessions, and estate plans for your next of kin. Each knockbox, that's Knockbox, comes with a comprehensive checklist that helps ensure you add everything they'll need to manage your estate when you are gone. From your funeral directives to your insurance policies, even the keys to your storage unit, the Knockbox helps you organize it all. If you've got a household, you need a Knockbox. Right now, Stephanie Miller listeners save 16% off the Knockbox of your choice. Just go to theknockbox.com/Stephanie. That's theknockbox.com/Stephanie to get 16% off. Stay calm, get organized today.